Okay. We're back online. Ready to start the build again. Just checking. YouTube's picked up that I'm streaming. Yep. Okay. Had about half an hour break there to just have a quick bite to eat and a coffee. Make a coffee there while I was away. There is the decals, and you can see they've settled pretty well, except they're not lined up. Which I sort of thought of. Only so much I can do about that at this point. So it may be a case I'm just going to have to live with it. Get that in focus for you. I've just moved them a little bit with my finger, and that's left an impression of my finger, so I'm just putting that on there just to get them to settle on the new spot. But I think it'll be okay. I honestly don't think you're going to see what I've done. Anyway, once everything's put in place, I think we'll get away with that. Right. So my understanding is that on the 5Bs, that the wheel wells from the factory at least were in natural metal or aluminium finish. These pieces here, and a little bit around there obviously, and because the cockpit is effectively floating in the fuselage, you can see some of the cockpit interior, which is along here obviously. So what I'm going to do is prime these pieces, and then I'm going to put the green in there, and that also gives me an excuse to prime this small handle which adjusts the seat, and put some colour on that as well at the same time, and that'll also leave a bit of time for this to dry and settle. So that's the plan. We're going to be going back to using our grey primer. That seems to be working well for us, even if my airbrushes aren't. Camera on, and I'll switch you across. There you go, should be in the booth now. let's find that small part. Let's do that first, so I don't forget. Run out of primer. Okay. And the bit I forgot to do this morning was the tail wheel. So I'll put a bit of paint on that as well. Okay, so just clean out the airbrush. Might just keep using this airbrush actually, since it's plugged in and working. Okay, so next up we're going to put the aluminium in, which, if you joined us the last one, we used this SMS aluminium, which seemed to work fine. Do the back before I forget. It's fine. I wouldn't normally use this airbrush because it's the cheaper one I got, but does seem to be working. See the bit there I need to clean up, but that's okay, you won't see that. Alright, that's that. Done. Again, just give me a minute to clean the airbrush. You're an idiot. And what we'll do next is the green. So I'm going to have to do a bit of masking here. Okay. Switch camera views here. So the goal here is just put some masking tape on where the green should be for underneath the cockpit. Let's do that. Lead out masking tape. Not sure how precise we need to be. We'll see. Start with that. Something up there. That could be wrong. Could be wrong. Let's see if we can figure this out. Yeah, goes back further. So we might just do green the whole way back, I think. That'll be fine. Next up, we're going to need some paint. And we're back to using our Tamiya lacquer thinners. Our only mix. And we'll start off with the handle. Okay. And then we're off to doing this. I don't know what it is about airbrushes today, but I'm not winning with them. That's that. And then we're back to cleaning again. Let's put the fan up a bit. Okay. So let's see while those parts are drying. Let's see how our String panel's gone. Yeah, that's not too bad actually. I'm happy enough with that. It'll work for sure. Looking at the seat, I think we might put that together now. I'm also just going to pull up the instructions here to make sure I'm not missing something I need to know. B8. I bet I didn't do B8. So the back piece here, I bet I haven't painted that. That should have been done last night, and I didn't. Oh dear. More painting. It's a fairly big part too, so it's going to have to get painted. Alright, well, since we found that part, this is one of the things about doing YouTube. Normally you wouldn't see those things because you would just see the paint, that part painted. You wouldn't see the fact that I missed it. So I guess if nothing else, if you're watching these stream videos, you're getting to see that yes, I make exactly the same mistakes as you and everyone else. And all YouTube modelers do. We just edit them out so you don't have to be bored normally watching us constantly making mistakes. Basically. And I'm just having a look to see what else is here, and yes, we have got more parts. We've got quite a few more parts, so I'm thinking I'm going to cut a few more off before I do the seat. So I've got that. I should have picked these up yesterday, last night after work, after pickleball, but I didn't. So we've got C20 and C52 as well. Before I started this build, by the way, I did not look at the instructions because I wanted it to be, I guess, a little bit more authentic, and that you would see me building it, genuinely building it in 48 hours, having not seen the kit before I started, because I figured that would make it a little bit more true to the premise of the whole 48-hour build thing. So that's what I say the other part was, C20. Okay, it's going to be a bit tricky. Am I going to paint that? Where's it get glued to? It's painted 56. What the heck is 56? Look up the colour. It's painted aluminium. Okay. What to do? What to do? So looking at that, bottom. Yeah, okay. So I should be able to get away with just painting that on the tree, I think. So I'm going to do that trick again, and just cut it out and paint it like that. All right, what else we got? C51. Oh yeah. I should have seen these last night. It would have made life a lot easier. Anyway. It's more of an inconvenience. Everything's going together reasonably well. Okay, so that. There was a support which was C8. And that's just a flat bit of plastic. Oh yeah, it has got some shape to it. And of course it goes that way. Yeah, I think that's going to get painted on the tree as well. Bit. And I'm going to be a little bit more thorough this time. Oh my goodness sake, I've got to modify the cockpit. Seriously? Oh come on, Airfix. That's been a bit cheap and nasty. I could have just moulded a new fuselage part, couldn't you? Not very fussed about that. Anyway. Oh, come on. What are you telling me here? And then you throw an oxygen bottle in at the end. And then you're telling me to cut out a whole section of the cockpit canopy frame. For goodness sake, Airfix, you should be telling me that up front, not halfway through the instructions. Oh, what a pain. What a pain. So what's missing? And why do I need to care? It's saying it's optional. Why is it optional? Oh, if I want to have the door down. Okay. Well, I guess we're not doing that. That'll take too much time. So I'll leave the door fine. There's this other one that worries me more. I have to trim the doors somehow. To fit the canopy. That's a little bit annoying. That is a little bit annoying. I'm going to come back and look at that again because that's going to distract me too much. I want to get this painting done first. Okay. I'm just going to take a photo so I can paste this on Facebook so that you can see what I'm up to. It gives you an idea of what we've done so far. Oh, for goodness sake, come on. I just did a post. Where'd the post go? Seriously? You just got rid of the post. Oh. I do not like... No, you just got rid of the post. heck? The heck? Ah. Ah. So I'll shut that down because I'm getting feedback. Next. So we've identified all these parts here are going to need to get painted. And I should have picked a few of those up last night, but I didn't. But that's the way it goes. So I'll get the airbrush ready and we'll put some primer on those. give me a sec to clean the airbrush so I can change colours. Trying to work out now is what's going to be aluminium, what's going to be green. No, that's going to be aluminium. I don't know what colour the oxygen tank is going to be, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to be green. See if we can find out. They say it's orange or yellow or something. They're saying colour 56. So what's humble 56? Aluminium. Okay. Well, makes life easier. So back with the SMS aluminium finish. This airbrush is terribly happy about spraying this stuff. But we'll persevere. Oh, it's spurting like crazy. Did it. Crazy way to do a model. Anyway. Hello. Okay. Again, just going to do a colour change. Go into the green after this. back onto a 2mm needle and pulling our colour again. It's still wet, so we can reuse this paint cup. A fair bit of green to do. I'm taking so many shortcuts that I would not do normally in a build, but it feels really strange to be doing it that way. It does seem to be working okay, so I guess that's the key thing. I'm just checking to make sure I haven't missed anything this time. Don't think so. So I'll go ahead and clean out the airbrush. I'll probably discover something after I've done that. Murphy's Law and all that. Switch it back to the bench for a bit and turn the camera off, save some battery. Right. So let's regroup. I think we can actually potentially do a little bit of assembly. I've got to rearrange my workbench a bit so I've got a little bit of room. So those parts are still drying, but we've got the seat now. And that. Let's turn that compressor off. Okay. Let's see what we got. Referring to our instructions, I'm going to have to, this is really starting to annoy me, so I'm going to have to go back and have a look at that cockpit canopy fit, because it's got a question mark though, which I assume means optional. I'm hoping that doesn't mean I have to do anything. Alternative part provided. I'm not really 100% sure what they mean. I'm hoping it's just if you're doing the door down, but I'm going to have to put the canopy on, I think, to see if it fits properly or whether that part needs to be trimmed. Anyway, let's get the seat happening, which is an earlier step. Seat. Okay. So we've just got to fix the sides to it. It's got two sides. That side, that side, okay. There, that goes in, that's inside, and then that goes somehow in there like that. because I've painted those, I'm probably going to need to use a little bit of super glue, I think, to make that work properly. Just using an old airbrush needle that's seen better days to punch through that. I'll just put this upside down. There we go, with a bit of glue. I'll use my fancy glue applicator, otherwise known as a toothpick. Zoom in a bit so you can see the mistakes I'm going to have to make, and we'll see how we go. Come on, don't muck around. You're gonna take the paint off if you do that, guys. Got it the wrong side. Work much better with the right side of the seat. Oh, spectacular. Okay, well, that didn't work. So I'm going to go to plan B. Which will be a combo job. I'm putting a little bit of their old school cement on the edge. And then we'll put the seat back on. If I can pull that off. If I can pull that off. There you go. And I can use some super glue underneath just to strengthen the joint. A little bit fiddly. We can say that. No. This way of building is definitely taking me back to when I was a kid. I'll be trying to build these Airfix 172 scale kits on a weekend with my mate Andrew Cuthbertson, so we could show him the model at school or next weekend. He came over and I remember my dad not being very impressed because he got me into the models to try and teach me patience. And here I was trying to work out how to make models quicker. Oh, for Pete's sake, come on. This is not working well. I'm making a mess of this. a little too fiddly. Put on my magnifier glasses and try again. Take you off for a sec because none of it's working. I'm going to have to touch this up with a brush. You can see that when I'm done. I should have glued these together and just painted them. Again, didn't think it through last night when I was doing the painting. These would have been a lot easier to put together when they weren't painted. Still would have been fiddly. I think we can get away from that problem. Just a lot easier. I think that's okay. No, it's not. Now it is. What a mess. I'm going to have to go in there with a brush and touch that up. I think I'm going to leave that for a second just to dry a bit before I try and put the other side on. That's half the battle I'm having there. Yeah. Oh, it's disappointing you did that. So what's level 85? Black. So it's saying the controls on the sides are black. And currently I've got them in colour. So I guess I could do that while I'm waiting. So they're saying that's what? What's being painted in black? Looks like the throttle. And the mixture control. I'm not sure the mixture would be, but anyway, I think they would have some other colours on, I would have thought. And I just realised I've glued the mixture control on upside down. Show you what I'm talking about. And again, I did this last night. That part looks nice, doesn't it? If you can get in focus, except it's upside down. Bit of persuasion, it'll probably come off. Not happy about it, but it came off. It's supposed to be around the other way. So I'm going to have to use a very strong glue. Try and get it back into where it's meant to be. Things are not going well on the build. That should set up a bit like that. Okay. And we'll have a go at putting some of this black on. So a fine brush. And some paint, I guess. sec. Doesn't look too bad. And it's saying that the front of this is black as well. Not sure about that either, but since they say it, who am I to argue? This paint's very thin. That'll do. I think we got that looking okay. Pardon me. Do a little bit of touch up on the green. I've got a little bit of green paint left over from the airbrushing. It's been thinned a little bit, but I think it'll still work. Yep, that worked fine. It's all good. Alright, so let's patch those up. Wash this brush and then I can tackle that seat again. Okay, so back to the seat. The other side should have had enough time to dry. We'll go back to using a thick Tamiya cement. And see if we can get this other side to fit. Okay. And leave that to dry. And then I can see if I can patch up the paintwork. Meanwhile, is there anything else I can do? Yeah, I might paint a couple of little detail bits. I sort of alluded to before. first one. And a bit of red. Where's my paintbrush? Okay, and then the specs for this. Just put a little bit of red on the trigger. And the other bit I was going to do is just there. I don't know if that's right, but it just adds a bit of colour. Presumably there would be something there for extra richness, which would be red normally in planes. I don't know if Spitfires had it back then, but I'm guessing they did. And that's not sticking very well. Hopefully that's glue's drying properly. Okay, the other thing was the ends of these are wrong. They're green at the moment. So I'm going to use this. I'll just zoom out a bit for you to see what I'm doing. So this is a wax-based paint from AK called True Metal. So it works a bit like an oil paint really. I'll put that in frame so you can see it. And there you go. This stuff's really good. A couple of downsides with it though, just to be aware of. The first one is that it'll spread everywhere. If you get even the tiniest amount on your fingers or something like that, I don't care what you do, for the rest of the day you're just going to spread that stuff onto everything you touch. So you do need to be very careful with it, and it's much better to paint with it when your model that brush isn't good enough for this. I'm going to get a better brush. Too thick? Probably not. So you have to put this on. Oh, it's easier to put this on when you've got the model apart than trying to do it. Because also when you're doing this, because it's like a wax, it actually flicks off a little bit. And that just means that like that. Okay. If you're not careful, you'll get on things you don't want on your model, particularly if you've done all weathering inside the fuselage or something like that. And then you put this thing stuff on mask. So I tend to use tape nowadays. If you watch my B26 video when it comes out, you'll see I use tape around the area I'm painting to protect it from any of this stuff splashing onto it or anything like that. In fact, I do it for most things where there's a metal finish involved. Now, I'm not probably going to be bothered doing with a model this small, but you can actually polish that stuff. So once it's dry, give it 24 hours to dry, you can actually polish it, and it comes up a treat. So if you're a modeler who doesn't use airbrushes, you just paint with brushes, and you want to get a nice metal finish on some of your parts of your model, I can recommend that you get one of these and try it out and see how you go. So basically just paint it on, let it dry 24 hours or so, take something like these cotton buds, and then just start polishing. And you'll get a nice chrome finish. It's great for things like oleo legs and stuff like that on aircraft. The wheels on a train or a carriage where they're bright metal. from being, sort of basically polished by being on the track all the time. Works great for that as well. Used it for that. So yeah, it has got its uses, and I did read somewhere that some people had trouble with it not lasting. It was sort of exploding or something. I don't know whether I'm lucky or not, but I've had those paints for probably at least 10 years. It'd be at least 10 years now. And all of them work just fine. I don't use them very often, but when I have a need for them, they are just fantastic. And they're good for engine parts and things like that, and they'd also be good for, I'd imagine, things like motorcycles and things like that, where you've got lots of slightly subtle different shades of metal on various parts of the brakes and gearbox and stuff, what have you. Okay. So have we been able to salvage our seat? I think it's dried okay. I'm going to have to do some touch up, obviously. So let's do that now. Try and make it look a bit nicer. It'll hopefully cooperate. Yeah, not ideal, but I think we got away with it. It's a lot of me saying that in this model. Let's just go ahead and put bits on it. Had a thought. Bear with me for a sec. I'm pretty sure I do. That light green might come in handy for a little bit of weathering. Let's just suck it and see. I'll put it somewhere inconspicuous just to see what it does. Alright. Oh, I have to super glue that. So I'm just using this, very small amounts of it, I mean tiny amounts, just to lighten the panels a little bit. Not too much, very subtle, which is fair enough because we're only working with really small parts here. If you recall, I said, I think you get a better result when there's just a bit of colour variation. And that should do it. It's sort of like almost like a dry brush as well. Work well on this part. Oop. Gonna drop it. Again, not putting it everywhere. Just a little bit here and there in certain spots. Okay. Yep, that's doing what I wanted. I'm happy with that. Let's try and get that throttle back on. Oh, sorry, mixture control back on. What do I need? Tweezers. Glue. I need to get some more surface glue. I think that's starting to get going a bit off. Try that. Okay. Next, see if we can get this arm in. Look at how it fits. It's a seat height control, I think. Look at it. Oh, it goes behind the other piece. I might put the other piece on first, which is this piece. No, this piece. Somehow fits on that. So this. Oh, this is fragile. Okay. Okay. Well, that's going to be fun. I think I've got the super glue out. I'm going to need it. Oh no, that's not too bad. That's through like that. And then this part is two. Yep. So it has a hole there and a hole there. I'll probably put too much glue on anyway. And go through that there. Like that. And they got a little seat. Next assembly is step 5, which is what I've done. So I did that earlier. That's this piece here. So the next magic is trying to get these two all joined together somehow. Looks easy on the picture. I think the seat props go on there. Getting flashbacks to the Airfix Hurricane here. Oh no. I'll leave that to dry for a minute. I'm pushing it a bit too hard on that bit. Can I do anything else? Instructions here. just a brave welder can try and put some parts on the ground. We can have a look at this guy, I think. Nice and dry now. If I'm reading the instructions correctly, this part should see it there, goes in on the side with the oxygen tanks, which is this piece, and there should be a slot there and it should just fit, which actually it does. There's a win. Let's put a little bit of glue on that. Not too much. I'm going to use the fine applicator on this one. And just wick it at the back where you won't see it. And also here where you won't see it. Okay. That's starting to look like a cockpit. What about that oxygen bottle? I'm going to lose that if it's going to float around on the desk and fall off, so can I glue it somewhere to get it out of the way? Not really, it's going to go in at the end. Okay. So we're kind of back to this seat. Trying to work out what's going on with it. Goes on this side. But for reasons I don't understand, this side of the seat's always playing up. But I think that part of the seat, go around that way, goes on there, like that. Honestly, there's not a lot of surface area holding these parts on, which does worry me a bit. There's a bit goes on there. Let's see what happens. Stupid seat keeps moving. Why do you keep moving? I think the actual back of the seat is warped slightly. It's actually pushing the seat forward. Which is a bit of a problem because I need that seat to sit flush so that I've got something to glue up the back. There isn't a lot holding it in place, to be perfectly honest. I was saying before I get up about getting silver on things, I've just gone and done it to the seat backrest. Enjoy. I can fix that with a bit of powder, but yeah, okay, weathering powder. quite the project. Okay, this part is somehow meant to slot in here as well. I think. Surely not there, it'd have to be up here somewhere. So there's an indent. No. See the indent, guys? I'm not sure what's supposed to go into it. What's supposed to go into it? Oh, okay, square bracket. That doesn't make sense. Oh, okay. Rudder pedals go behind. So I've got the control column in the wrong spots. If I looked at it logically, yes I have, because it's behind the darn rudder pedals. Geez, I really did some good work last night. That's supposed to be up there, I think. Yeah, a little box here, so it's on that one. Or it's meant to be that one. Or it can fly over there. Oh. Okay, I think we'll stop the stream there because I have to go find a part that I've just gone and thrown onto the floor somewhere. Oh dear. And when we come back, I'll hopefully have some of this sub-assembly for the cockpit done, because you don't need to watch me slowly and painfully trying to get this thing to go together. Alright, I'll be back in a little bit.